an American Made VA. Paul, how are you? And I know you're excited about our guest.
Always excited to see our friend Bill Nelson here. He is a multi-talented author that is has a great book on the market right now. We all should go out and buy it. Welcome,
Bill,
Bill.
hey, Bill, how are you? Thanks for stopping by.
Hey guys, it's always fun to get together and chat with you guys, and thanks for having me. And I appreciate everything that you guys are doing.
Absolutely. We were talking about all your background before, but I think you want to thank it as the 3 month mark. You want to thank all the fans that have bought your book and that the second book is coming, right? You're in the process of writing it right now, aren't you?
I am. I'm a couple of chapters in to the new book, but certainly we want to thank everybody that bought Murder and Betrayal at Osprey Point, and the feedback and the support and the endorsements have been really, really gratifying. And I'm very thankful for all of that.
Absolutely. It's just great when you get to see a review. And you answer that question. I'm going to pull up your Amazon account, but that's the cool thing is you get to see those reviews, and every one of them I think is 5 stars. That's got to feel great that everyone that has bought the book who's written a review is a 5 star review. I'm going to
Yeah,
verify that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that does. I'm very, uh, very, very thankful for that. That means a lot to me. It really does.
Because that was the first thing you were waiting to see was reviews, right? And see what are people going to think of my book. First is sales, and then next is what are they going to think about when they read my book, right?
Yeah, I think the feedback that I get from people is that you know, the book is what it appears to be, but it's also not what it appears to be. And you know, at first glance, it's an action adventure kind of book, but there's actually a lot of emotional content in the book, and there's really, I mean, if you really want to nail it down, it's kind of a love story more than anything else.
Yeah, and that's where people are going to wait to these characters and see what they're going to do in book two, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the love story is going to have to come from somewhere else in book two, but but I think honestly in book two the subject matter is going to be a little bit more geopolitical.
Oh wow. Well, we'll just have to wait and see what's happening with that. And I think the next part is once you get that the sales as you've gotten and the reviews, it just really motivates you to write the whole series.
Yeah, the I think the series is kind of something I'm compelled to see through at this point.
You got to see it through. And the thing that happens is so many authors, I've talked to the New York Times bestselling authors. They said it didn't happen in my first book. Trust me, it didn't happen in my second book. I had to keep writing. And then finally it clicked and it happened. And that, you just got to keep it going. And that's the big thing I get when I talk to a lot of famous authors. It's a process and they got to keep going.
Yeah, and I have an idea for a completely separate book that is kind of really gnawing on me. I mean, I've got that book in my head; it's pretty much written, but it's just all in my head, and it's completely separate from Blood and Fire. It's actually set in a town about 50 miles northwest of Houston called Brenham, Texas. And it's also not in current timing. It's also set back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, wow.
And so that book is going to get written at some point too.
Well, you got to keep writing. There you go. And just looking at 17 5 star reviews, pretty impressive. Go ahead and pick up Blood and Fire, Murder and Betrayal at Osprey Point. It's available now on Amazon and all finer bookstores. And make sure once you finish the book, write in a review. So again, Bill will get that feedback and more people will know about your Amazon book. Thanks again, Bill, for stopping by.
Thanks, guys.
All right. You're listening and watching the Neil